Welcome to Kingdom Revelation. We're going to be reading from Proverbs 15 and 16. So get your Bibles ready and your apps. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get the videos as soon as they come out. And I hope you guys miss me. I haven't been on for 2 weeks or so. But anyways, hold on one second. Let me just do something real quick. Go. I just needed to open the door a little bit, get some air in here. It's getting a little hot in here. Too much lights. Okay, here we go. Chapter 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of fools gush out folly. Yahweh's eyes are everywhere, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but deceit in it crushes the spirit. The fool despises his father's correction, but he who heeds reproof shows prudence. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but the income of the wicked brings trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so with the heart of fools. The sacrifice made by the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but he loves him who follows after righteousness. There is stern discipline for one who forsakes the way. Whoever hates reproof shall die. Sheol and Abaddon are before Yahweh. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scoffer doesn't love to be reproved. He will not go to the wise. A glad heart makes a cheerful face, but an aching heart breaks the spirit. The heart of one who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouths of fools feed on folly. All the days of the afflicted are wretched, but one who has a cheerful heart enjoys a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasure with trouble. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. A wrathful man stirs up contention, but one who is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of the sluggard is like a thorn patch, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to the one who is void of wisdom, but a man of understanding keeps his way straight. Where there is no counsel, plans fail, but in a multitude of counselors they are established. Joy comes to a man with the reply of his mouth. How good is a word at the right time! The path of life leads upward for the wise to keep him from going downward to Sheol. Yahweh will uproot the house of the proud, but he will keep the widow's borders intact. That's nice to know. Yahweh detests the thoughts of the wicked, but the thoughts of the pure are pleasing. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. He who hates bribes will live. Yep. The heart of the righteous weighs answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes out evil. Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayers of the righteous. The prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. Good news gives health to the bones. The ear that listens to reproof lives and will be at home among the wise. He who refuses correction despises his own soul, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The fear of Yahweh teaches wisdom. Before honor is humility. So, okay. And now we're on chapter 16. So we're moving right along. There's, I believe, 31 in this one. Let me double check that. Yep, 31. And if anybody wants to know what I'm reading, I'm reading the World English Bible. It's WEB, and that's where I'm reading from, because there's different translations. They're mostly the same, like little words are maybe a little different, but they're pretty much the same. Let's see. Like in some of the Bibles, they say the Lord with capitals, and when they're all capitals, that's when they're talking about Yahweh. So, and in this one, it just says the word. So, let's see. We're on 16. Here we go. The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh weighs the motives. Commit your deeds to Yahweh, and your plans shall succeed. Yahweh has made everything for its own end. Yes, even the wicked for the day of evil. Wow. Everyone who is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh. They shall certainly not be unpunished. By mercy and truth, iniquity is atoned for. By the fear of Yahweh, men depart from evil. When a man's ways please Yahweh, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. A man's heart plans his course, but Yahweh directs his steps. Inspired judgments are on the lips of the king. He shall not betray his mouth. Honest balances and scales are Yahweh's. All the weights in the bag are his work. It is an abomination for kings to do wrong, for the throne is established by righteousness. The righteous lips are the delight of kings. They value one who speaks the truth. The king's wrath is a messenger of death, but a wise man will pacify it. In the light of the king's face is life. His favor is like a cloud of the spring rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold? Yes, to get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He who keeps his way preserves his soul. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be a lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the plunder with the proud. He who heeds the word finds prosperity. Whoever trusts in Yahweh is blessed. The wise in heart shall be called prudent. Pleasantness of the lips promotes instruction. Understanding is a fountain of life to one who has it, but the punishment of fools is their folly. The heart of the wise instructs his mouth and adds learning to his lips. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. There is a way which seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. The appetite of the laboring man labors for him, for his mouth urges him on. A worthless man devises mischief. His speech is like a scorching fire. A perverse man stirs up strife. A whisper separates close friends. Wow. A man of voice entices his neighbor. A man of violence entices his neighbor and leads him in a way that is not good. One who winks his eyes to plot perversities. One who compresses his lips is bent on evil. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is attained by a life of righteousness. One who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. One who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from Yahweh. So that's what it says about that. A lot of things to get from that. And I kind of wanted to talk to you regarding, I had on a previous video that I did, maybe about a month ago, I don't know, there was like 2 comments from some strange channels, and one of them said that it had been done like 10 months ago, and I thought, oh, I didn't see that, but no, it wasn't, because the video was done about a month ago. So I don't know what happened there, and it was there for a short time, and maybe they were trying to promote their channels. I don't know, because they did suggest for me to take a look at one of the channels, you know. So it could have been that, but then later on they were gone. I mean, those things were deleted somehow or removed, and not by me. So, I mean, I welcome your comments and, you know, encouraging words. That would be great. You know, I'm a big encourager. I like to talk to people and uplift them, you know, whenever I can. And that just comes naturally to me. But I also need encouragement too sometimes. So that would be great. And so anyways, yeah, they got removed afterwards. And, you know, I do this channel mainly to read, you know, the Bible to people that maybe wouldn't read it otherwise, and just like short snippets so that they can get, you know, a lot of knowledge about the Word. And so I feel like the Lord put me to do this. I don't know if they were trying to say for me to look at their other things so that I can get an idea of how to do it. But I believe that the Lord wants me to do it this way. You know, a short word, you know, and maybe a little teaching. And believe me, I take this seriously, because I don't want to say anything that the Lord wouldn't want me to say. I don't want to like lead people in any way that is not His way, you know, that the way He wants. And I do pray ahead of time. So, and I'm going to read from Numbers. There's a story about Balaam, and he was a prophet that actually got hired by a king, Balak, to curse Israel, but he couldn't do it. And there was a reason for that, because the Lord had blessed it. But I'm going to try and read that real quick. Let's see. It's kind of a interesting story. I think so anyways. Okay, Numbers 22. Numbers 22, okay? Here we go. The children of Israel traveled and encamped in the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan at Jericho. Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Moab was very afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this multitude will lick up all that is around us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field." Balak, the son of Zippor, was king over Moab at the time. He sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, to Pethor, which is by the river, to the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, "Behold, there is a people who came out from Egypt. Behold, they cover the surface of the earth, and they are staying opposite of me. Please come now, therefore, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall prevail. Then we may strike them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." The elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke to him the words of Balak. Remember, Balak with a K at the end is the king. Balaam is the prophet. Okay. He said to them, "Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahweh shall speak to me." The princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. God came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam said to God, "Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has said to me, Behold, the people that has come out of Egypt, it covers the surface of the earth. Now come and curse them and curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and shall drive them out. God said to Balaam, you shall not go out with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. Balaam rose up in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, go to your land, for Yahweh refuses to permit me to go with you. The princes of Moab rose up, and they went to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Balak sent yet again princes, more and more honorable than they. They came to Balaam and said to him, thus said Balak the son of Zippor, please let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I will promote you to very great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Please come therefore and curse this people for me. Balaam answered the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I can't go beyond the word of Yahweh my God, to do less or more. Now therefore, please wait also here this night, that I may know that Yahweh will speak to me more. God came to Balaam at night and said to him, If the men have come to call you, rise up, go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that you shall do. Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the princes of Moab. God's anger was kindled because he went, and the anger of Yahweh placed himself in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding his donkey, because remember, God told him not to go in the beginning. He had already told him that, and then he was pretty much like wanting to go because these people, were honorable or whatever. So anyway, so God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of Yahweh placed himself in the way for an adversary against him. The angel of Yahweh was right there. Now he was riding his donkey, and his two servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel. Now listen to this. This is funny. Oh, excuse the noise out there. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand. The donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field, and Balaam struck the donkey to turn her into the way. Then the angel of Yahweh stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh, and she thrust herself to the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he struck her again. The angel of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or to the left. The donkey saw the angel of Yahweh, and she laid down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Yahweh opened the mouth of the donkey and said to Balaam, what have I done to you? He opened the mouth of the donkey. And then he said, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? Balaam said to the donkey, because you have mocked me, I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would have killed you. The donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden all your life long to this day? Was I ever in the habit of doing so to you? He said, no. Then Yahweh opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell on his face. The angel of Yahweh said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come forth as an adversary, because your way is perverse before me. And the donkey saw me and turned aside before me these 3 times. Unless she had turned aside from me, surely now I would have killed you and saved her alive. Balaam said to the angel of Yahweh, I have sinned, for I didn't know that you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it pleases you, I will go back again. The angel of Yahweh said to Balaam, go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak to you that you shall speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam had come, he went out to meet him to the city of Moab, which is on the border of Arnon, which is in the utmost part of the border. Balak said to Balaam, "Didn't I earnestly send to you to call you? Why didn't you come to me? Am I not able indeed to promote you to honor?" Balaam said to Balak, "Behold, I have come to you. Have I now any power at all to speak anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that shall I speak." Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. Balak sacrificed cattle and sheep and went to Balaam and to the princes who were with him. It happened in the morning that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal. And he saw from there the utmost part of the people. Balaam said to Balak, "Build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 bulls and 7 rams." Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bull and a ram. Balaam said to Balak, "Stand by your burnt offering and I will go. Perhaps Yahweh will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I will tell you." He went to a bare height. God met Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the altars, and I have offered up a bull and a ram on every altar." Yahweh put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak." He returned to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab. He took up his parable and said, "From Aram has Balak brought me, the king of Moab, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me. Come, defy Israel," which is the same person, remember. How shall I curse whom God has not cursed? How shall I defy whom Yahweh has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him. From the hills I see him. Behold, it is a people that dwells alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous. Let my last end be like this. Balak said to Balaam, "What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them altogether." He answered and said, "Must I not take heed to speak that which Yahweh puts in my mouth?" Balak said to him, "Please come with me to another place where you may see them. You shall see but the utmost part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse me them from there." He took him into the field of Zophim to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars and offered up a bull and a ram on every altar. He said to Balak, "Stand here by your burnt offering, and I will meet you over there." Yahweh met Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, "Return to Balak and say this." He came to him, and behold, he was standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. Balak said to him, "What has Yahweh spoken?" He took up his parable and said, "Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, you son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and will not make it good? Behold, I have received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I can't reverse it. He has not seen inquiry in Jacob. He has not seen iniquity in Jacob." You see that? There was no iniquity in Jacob. "Neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. Yahweh his God is with him. The shout of a king is among them. God brings them out of Egypt. He has, as it were, the strength of the wild ox. Surely there is no enchantment with Jacob, neither is there any divination with Israel. Now it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, what has God done? Behold, the people rises up as a lioness. As a lion he lifts himself up. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey and drinks of the blood of the slain." Balak said to Balaam, "Neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all." But Balaam answered Balak, "Didn't I tell you, saying, all that Yahweh speaks, that I must do?" Balak said to Balaam, "Come now, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please God that you may